Hello and welcome back to Radio DMG and
ERJ Productions.
ERJ Productions. My name is Philip Wesley, the Mile High Mouth. I'm here with
Little
from ERJ Productions and
Jamie Marchi.
And do you want to ask the first question or should I?
You should.
I'll go first. Okay. So who are you? What do you do?
I am. Gosh, that's such a deep question. I don't even know now. Specifically, I work for Funimation, and I'm a voice actor, and I do audio digital writing, dub writing, and sometimes directing for Funimation. So I've been in, at this point, I have over 100 characters. I've been doing it for 8 years now, I think. My first character was in Fruits Basket, and I can't even tell you what my last character was because it's not been revealed. So that's what I do. That's who I am. That's what I do.
So you say how long have you actually been voice acting, just voice acting, not directing anything,
Just voice acting? Well, I have a degree in theater, so I've been acting most of my life. And I started acting immediately afterwards, so I don't really differentiate the two. Specifically for Funimation, 8 years. I've been doing voice work for them for 8 years. I feel like acting is acting.
So how long have you been acting?
Well, now you're getting into my age.
Oh.
Sir, how dare you?
long.
I have been acting professionally for probably 12 years.
And
okay, I'm kind of interested in some of the character works. For your role in Sekira's, how did you feel that you actually had to play a character that was literally going behind everybody's back and trying to win just to keep their Ashikabi alive?
Well, she was so complex. She didn't really want to do what she had to do, but she had to do it. And I think we've all been in situations like that. And just to really be torn like that and not have a choice gave her a lot of inner workings that you don't always get with characters. So I loved that. I loved that complexity and the challenge to kind of convey, I don't really want to hurt you, but I'm gonna kill you now. So yeah, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I like it with her layered like that. It's a good time.
what was your first theater production?
Ever in my life?
Oh, yeah.
I played a butterfly in the first grade.
Oh.
And I flittered on stage. It was what was it? Are You My Mother was the book. And we made it into a little play. It was fantastic. And I fluttered on stage. And apparently, I hung out longer than the other butterfly, who I'm still friends with. And she's like, yeah, you stayed longer. I don't know why we remember that. That was my very first theatrical experience. Professionally, it was probably something Shakespeare. I can't remember what. I'm going to go with Much Ado About Nothing, because I've been in that a lot. Most actors have. It's a common one.
If you want to take just a second to introduce NDK here.
Late edition.
Yes, I'm Jared Sanchez with Ivy Tech. Sorry for our late intrusion.
This is very exciting. And by the end of this, there's going to be 30 people in here. It'll be great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Question.
Well, how did you get to NDK? It's my first year seeing you here, so what's your road? I'm sure you had a choice of many other places to go.
I didn't have anything this weekend, and at this point in my life, I don't do conventions every weekend or anything like that, and so I had the free weekend, and I think it was after Rob McCollum couldn't do it, someone recommended me, and they asked, and I was like, yes! Yes! Because I only ever hear how awesome this convention is, and like the minute I got off the plane, I knew like things are really different here, and it has been. I love it.
What do you mean by different? How's it different?
Well,
from
just I'm not all of them because but it just everything was organized. Like I knew where I was going, what I was doing, how, and if I didn't know where I was going, I knew I just needed to stay where I was, and someone was going to come get me and take care of it, and just the care and the concern that they take with not only the guests but the attendees and how much fun everybody's having. It's such a massive convention to have so incredibly organized. I just love it. It's so great. And the food in the green room is out of control. It's so good.
Another question we had, which character that you played recently, like from Strike Witches or Spice and Wolf or even Second Base, do you feel like you have a personality that's close to it? And which one would you possibly prefer to be in real life?
In real life, out of my recent characters. Let me think. Well, Chloe and Spice and Wolf, as much as I understand why she went the route that she went, and it's what made it fun to play her and write her, because I wrote that show too. I don't think that I would necessarily try to kill somebody just because I didn't want to be with. Just and then let's see. I'm not really big on biting and having my clothes fall off. I know it's surprising, so that probably not is me. Let's see. Close to me. You know who I really relate to? This like darker part of me relates to. Satsukitane from Heaven's Lost Property. Mikako Satsukitane, that's me. It's hard to keep them straight. It's like, she is kind of naughty and sounds very naughty. And it's always kind of, she's a little bit of a sociopath. I'm not that way, but she's very fun and like will look at even the worst situation, she's going to have a good time with it, even if it's really awful. And so I relate to that. I'm not necessarily evil, but I relate to having a good time no matter what, if you couldn't guess.
This might be a little bit heavy, but we're at,
Watch out, everybody hold down the fort.
Oh, okay.
Don't get heavy.
Actually, you have no idea. Actually, tomorrow is the anniversary. Tomorrow is September 11th, the 10th anniversary of the September 11th attacks. Did you have any opinions on these, or where were you when those happened?
Well, I probably have the same opinions that everybody has on them. That, it's awful. I was in Chicago at the time, and I was living just north of Wrigleyville, and they evacuated Wrigleyville, and so I went up to a little town, Highland Park, which is where I was working at the time, and hung out there for the day, and came back, took my cats, went up there and hung out. It was all clear when I came back, and my mom kept trying to call me, and I didn't really have a trusty cell phone at the time because, it was in the early 2000s. And yeah, it was kind of scary. I'd never been away from home, and from Oklahoma City specifically, and the first month I was away, that's what happened. And so it was very shocking and opening. Yeah, I can't believe it's been so long. Doesn't it seem like weird that it's been?
Yeah, it feels just like high school.
Yeah.
So, it's been a while.
Yeah.
How are the cats?
Well, one of them died of cancer.
Ooh.
It was very sad. But the other one's good. Yes.
All right, I just say this because it's hard not to take notice of you, especially last night. I noticed red, and red shoes. Those bright.
Last night.
Where do you get your fashion sense from? I mean, just project this graciousness and energy, and I see that also.
Oh wow, thanks. Heavens! I like your questions. My fashion sense, I don't know. I have a very classic fashion sense. When I was talking with a friend, I don't know if you guys know Trina Nishimura. She's a really good friend of mine, and we were talking about fashion and stuff like that, and how we trend totally different. And I was like, I think like if I had a fashion icon that I would relate to, would be like Elizabeth Taylor, because she's very classic and kind of went through different phases and stuff like that. Still maintained like this classicness. And she's like, yeah, I think I'm Gwen Stefani. I was like, yeah, I can see that. So I'm anything classic, and I like some funky pieces, depending upon the season. But I like to throw that in to update. But if I have like one really nice piece that will last me forever, like those red shoes are gonna be fabulous forever.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of my style, and I like shoes a lot, a whole lot. And I wear heels, and some people give me flack about wearing heels at conventions, although I'm wearing flip flops tomorrow. But I'm not even 5'4", and I am also claustrophobic. So when I'm in a big crowd like this, it feeling like everybody is over me,
okay.
I get a little panicky.
Oh.
So I actually wear heels to feel a little more in control. It's weird.
No, that's great.
But does it
to
make,
know.
does it
That's
make
interesting.
sense? Like,
yeah,
so,
totally makes
yeah.
sense.
So that's why I wear heels a lot. Really high. Really
So I'm pretty tall, so I don't understand that feeling.
Yeah, I am the tallest girl in my family. So there's that. I'm proud of that.
When you actually walk around these conventions, how do you feel when you see someone dress up as one of your characters?
I love it. I think we all love it. Anybody who says they don't love it is lying to your face. It's fantastic because it's not only that they watch the show, it's that they love a specific character that you did the voice for. And yeah, I normally will run up to them and say, "Can I get a picture with you?" And then I tell them, and they're like, "Oh, it's always very fun."
Have you ever run into it where a guy has dressed up as one of your female characters?
Oh, not yet, but I'd love to. Can you imagine a guy with switchblade? That'd be hilarious. Someone do that.
Oh, okay.
Someone do that. Okay.
Oh, actually, I had a question about, like, since you work with Funimation, you work in Texas, right?
Mhm.
And have you done any work in, like, California, right?
Not.
Oh, okay. So, so
Not
this
it.
one's
I'm strictly a Texas gal right
just
now.
Texas.
Yeah.
So, the question was about, like, the difference between working in California and Texas, but I'll just simplify it to a different one. So, have you worked on any video games yet?
A handful, not a whole lot. I haven't done a whole lot of
Which
video
ones?
games here. You would ask me that. I don't know the names of the
Yeah.
games. I have a confession. I'm not a gamer. If Mario was not involved, I don't understand. See that he's wearing a Mario t-shirt. He's wearing a Mario t-shirt, which is great. But I think it's because my entire family, my parents are huge gamers, for real. Like, I'm like, Mom, you need to put it down. Stop it. So there's some games that I like to hide because they drive me crazy. Portal, I think it's awesome and the idea is awesome, but watching someone play Portal makes me want to pull out my eyelashes. It's awful. The game's fantastic, nothing against the game. I just don't want to watch people play it. And that's my life. When I'm ever at my parents' house, they always play video games and I get to sit there and watch it. So I don't normally, I do have a Wii, and I used it for like 2 weeks, and I still have it.
I think a lot of people did that.
Yeah. And my brother lives with me, he's got a 360, and he's always online and stuff like that, but I'm like, that looks like fun. I'm gonna go out. But also, working from home and writing the dubs, all I do is look at a TV screen, or computer screen, all day. So when it comes time, free time, I don't necessarily want to look. I don't watch a lot of TV because of that either. And maybe I just don't want to think and talk about it. So go out with my friends and hang out and chat. I'm sorry. I know it's not very exciting. I'm ashamed.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
That means you have a life. Restless.
We're gonna go with that. Yuck. I have a life.
So you just mentioned how you write your own dialogue and own dubbings.
Uh-huh.
Is that pretty common?
I write for Funimation.
Okay.
If I happen to get cast in a show, then that's particularly awesome if I happen to be writing that show, because then I know exactly how I want it said because I'm a writer. I generally get comedies to write, and so I have a little more freedom with the text and stuff like that. But so the lines sometimes are a little more original. But yeah, I luck out a couple. Like Hitalia, Chuck Huber, and I wrote Hitalia together. And so it was really cool to be on the same page with my character, the narrator, be on the same page of what she was and who she was, and then be able to deliver it in the booth. So much fun. So much fun.
Going back to Spice and Wolf, how did you feel that had a European setting instead of an actual Japanese setting, the traditional one? How do you feel about that?
I thought it was great. It changed up the setting. It changed up a lot writing-wise. It gave me a little more flexibility. I didn't have to worry if anybody was going to get upset because of honorifics were taken out or anything like that. Also, because it was in this imaginary world, I didn't have to study money like other kinds of currencies. It was made up
Like a
currencies.
silver coins?
Yeah, so I could just follow that and streamline that and make sure that was all correct without having to Google and do So I'm an actor, I'm a writer, I'm not a mathematician. Yeah, but so I loved it, and I mean, just the scene, all of that was just beautiful. I love that show. I love that show so much, and at the time we didn't think it would be as popular because it's very character centric, and it's about trade, and there's no fighting or anything like that. But the way people really connected with those characters and loved them the way that we love them, and by we I mean, you know, Michael Tatum and Brian Valencia and John McDonald, who directed it as well. We loved it. Loved it. Exciting. Second season's coming out or out, and Chuck Huber and I wrote that season together. So we were writing partners for a while.
Which do you find more challenging, writing comedy, or the more serious ones, or like which do you find more challenging when you're writing them, and which ones haven't you written yet that you'd love to work on, like the type of scripts, the types of genres?
You know, I've really lucked in to comedy's my forte, I think, and I love it, and it's not, I would say, difficult for me. I like the feeling of like knowing a joke and being able to fit it in somewhere. That is awesome. I love that. I love writing dramas too, though, because I really like getting into emotion and stuff and deep into that and letting people be cathartic and moved and all of that stuff, which is fun too. I'm not really big on fighting shows because if I watch someone fight over and over, I get anxious. I'm a lover, not a fighter. And I'll watch the fighting shows, and I like it when they fight in a live sport. I don't like sports that are fighting, but hockey, fighting, awesome. Just fighting, not awesome. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. But so, you know, and I'm not the best at that. The most challenging for me is time coding. And that is, we have the video and it has the hour, minute, second frame.
The sync point?
And yeah, and you have to sync up that number to when the mouth opens or when a reaction is. And it's just tedious. It takes a really long time. I always get exhausted. That's the hardest thing to get through, is just that. And it's important, I think, it's important for me to do it so that I can get my eye on the script an extra time, but it just takes forever. And that's like, I can't wait till I'm done with this so I can start writing it.
Have you worked on anything original, or if you had a dream for original IP that's animated within your realm, possibly?
Oh.
If this is too big of a question, it's okay.
It's huge. It's huge. Like, you know what I would love to see is, you know, Romeo and Juliet was amazing combination in the way that they used a lot of actual Shakespearean text and stuff like that. I got to be Ophelia in that. When am I ever going to be Ophelia in Romeo and Juliet? Yes. So I really liked that, and I think there's so many stage plays that would make brilliant anime. Just like.
I can definitely see that.
You know what I mean?
Just embellished in that way.
Yeah, yeah, because theater is extreme, and you know, to have the freedom to do whatever you wanted with that show, awesome.
So Into the Woods, the anime, right?
That would be awesome. How cool would that be? That would be.
Stephen Sondheim.
Yeah, Sondheim. Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, something like that. That's a good question.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think about that.
Oh, she might have to text you back or email you. Hey, I find your answer.
And this, and then it will never stop. So.
Oh, no problem.
Going back to Strike Witches, what did you actually think of the actual storyline and how it played out?
It was fine. I liked it. What do you mean? Great. Kudos.
On the sense that like it just started with getting the father's letter, and she's like, oh, I want you to go do this, and then it builds into this dramatic. Okay, we got to defeat these guys, and then how it ends up at the end. Another letter? What the hell? Like,
yeah.
The whole point of her becoming more mature, understanding everything. Do you think for a 1950 setting that was pretty off the ball, or was it just like?
And I know like every story's gonna get flack for whatever reason, but isn't that life? Like you expect something to happen, and then you grow and you develop and you change as a person, and what you thought was gonna happen never happens, but that doesn't mean you didn't grow. So the story may not be about the outcome; it's about her and her growth. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hi. Real quick question on this, actually. If you didn't have voice acting, where do you think you'd be right now? If you didn't have the ADR work and the voice acting?
I would probably be doing more theater.
More theater?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And actually, if I could throw in one more here, since you've worked theater, you've most likely worked musical theater. Is there a favorite musical that you have?
I've only ever done one musical.
One musical?
Only one, and I just did it last weekend.
Oh, what was it?
It was a workshop for a show called Debutante Warriors, and it's based on a comic book, and it's these debutantes that fight crime, and it's ridiculous and huge and like an 80s kind of. It was really fun. It was really fun. I will tell you my two roles, my ultimate roles, which explains a lot about me. I would like to be Ado Annie in Oklahoma and Lady Macbeth. Both of those.
Could you sing us a little bit from that
No.
thing? No?
No.
Oh, okay. No singing?
No.
Okay.
Even when the cameras are off, right? Off the record.
I only sing at karaoke.
Oh.
No, seriously, like that was the first time I'd ever sung on stage. Was last.
Oh, speaking of karaoke, are there events, like conventions you actually like to participate in? Like, are you going to show up at karaoke tonight?
I don't know. It
Tunes?
depends on. I know there's some people that we might be going to downtown Denver, and I do like
Oh, okay.
to when I can see the town that I'm in. So I'm not sure, but I love karaoke. I love it. Most of us Funimation gals and guys love karaoke. We have all done that quite a bit together. Yeah, Korean karaoke is the best. Each get your own room.
Oh,
Oh,
done that.
it's
Yeah.
the best. You don't have to wait. But, other ones, I like to sit in on other, panels, people that I know, and see what they're doing on their panels that are different and fun, and get a little inspiration.
But you definitely like to take time out to enjoy the city that you
Absolutely.
coast.
I mean, I'm traveling. I'm going to take advantage of it. I'm going to go to some good restaurants, and I'm going to. This time, I actually got to see some friends that I
Oh, yeah.
haven't seen since I was in Chicago, or no, well, 5 years, something like that. But they live north about an hour, so I got to drive through and see mountains and see my house too. And that was really cool, just to like see the land, and then to see them, and that was really neat. But yeah, I do like to see the city wherever I go, especially if I've never been here. It's fun.
Other than the narrator in Haltalia, was there any kind of role you were hoping for in Haltalia, or they just said, here's a role that you want?
Well, we had to audition. I wanted the narrator. The moment I wrote the first line for the narrator, I was like, I would like to be her. And then I talked to Chuck. I was like, hey, let's powwow about this narrator and make her a little more opinionated. So we talked about that, and then he wrote one of my favorite lines. It just grew from there to just be. She was a narrator, but she had an opinion on what she was talking about, and that's not very. That doesn't happen very often. So I loved it. It was really fun. And in the third and fourth seasons, I guess, I get to make fun of some of the other characters. So, but that show too, hearing lines that I wrote, other people say lines I wrote, is really cool. If it like gets a laugh and stuff like that, it's fun. I love Italia. It's fantastic. And Negama too. It's the same thing.
What was the line?
Which one?
Oh, you said the line there, like, oh,
My
I have to.
favorite? I don't know.
Yeah.
What's our rating here?
We can do not safe for work tags. What do you guys do?
Well, we can add ourselves to show up the internet or public access. So
So I can say
and
whatever,
it's-
and you can
For
take
us,
care of
say
it.
whatever you.
All right.
Yes.
Well, it's not bad, but I just want to make sure. I don't remember the whole line from Talia, but at the end, she's talking about how Italy had come back and was looking forward to meeting all of the people. But then they all had turned into assholes. That was really fun. And then the other one that you won't be seeing for a few months is me making fun of my very good friend, Clarine Hart, who plays China. And it was actually written in the Japanese text. I kept it because it was so funny. She just says, "Hangindale, China!" Just like that. It was written in there. And I was like, yes, please, let me do that. And her line that she says, that's one of my favorites that I've heard, is that I wrote. I think it's "suck my ball." Yeah, something like that. Suck ball, that's what it is. Yeah, suck ball, just one. Yeah. That's the kind of comedy I write, people. So there you go.
Dave Fisher demographic.
Yeah, that's my demo. Yeah.
Well, since are there any inspirations for your comedy? Since it's more the Will Ferrell route, or you have the Marx Brothers back?
I mean, it depends on the show. It depends on the show. I mean, there's just funny, anything with great dialogue back and forth. If I'm writing a show that's dialogue heavy, that needs to be funny, you know, I'll watch stuff to just kind of get me in the mood. So I'll watch maybe 30 Rock or South Park or something like that, just to see interaction. And then if it's one-liners, I'll, you know, see about watching clips of something, or, you know, websites that are funny, just to see like one-liners that get me in the mood to write one-liners, if that makes sense.
Get the juices going.
Yeah. Get me creative. Sorry, I gotta watch South Park for a minute.
That's part of the job.
Yeah.
Okay, this one actually comes from my buddy Golf Bum. He actually is a fanfic writer.
Okay.
He's kind of curious on what your opinion is on fanfic writers, like how they write like one of your stories, because you are a writer, how they might take that story and change it up a little bit with all the characters, or just what's your feelings on the fanfic writing community?
I mean, do it. If that's what you love to do and that's your passion, do it. It doesn't mean anything to me if you rewrite something that I wrote. I mean, I'm rewriting something that someone else wrote, kind of, you know what I mean? I'm just adapting it for an American audience, but yeah, I mean, go for it. Doesn't. It's great. Like, if you're doing what you love, do it. It doesn't mean that I'm not good at what I do or that you hate what I do, and even if you do, that's okay. Doesn't mean anything. It's not a big deal. We're all people doing what we love, if we're lucky. Yeah.
Well, now we're on the subject of people.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Are we gonna go dark again?
No, not really.
Okay.
Not really. Actually, I've noticed that a lot of these conventions, a lot of the people who go to the conventions, when they're in the convention, they're very outgoing. They've got a lot of high energy. They're very the opposite of shy.
Right.
But when they get out into the
Extroverted.
extroverted, when they get out into the real world to or their work or their school, they tend to like clam up, go into kind of a little bit of a shell. Do you have any advice for these people on how to be more, to bring that convention spirit into their real life and how to deal with it, with that?
Well, I think that's, I mean, before that, maybe if they want to leave the convention spirit to the convention, and that would be the, because I can imagine that some people who are a little more introverted and shy save it for a convention so they can really enjoy it. So they might like being shy and introverted. And so I would say just be who you are, first of all. If you want to be more extroverted, what is it about the convention that makes you extroverted? Is that you feel more confident, you feel more accepted, you feel more whatever, and take those feelings and bring them with you wherever you go. So if it's the joy, find the joy in everyday life and just roll with it, you know. That would be my advice, just in general. But be who you are. Don't try to be someone else. That's my biggest thing.
Well, what if you came upon a fan who was really being truly who they were, it's a huge fan of their work, and you had anyone really just too extroverted, maybe someone crossed the line of politeness with
you know, I think there's, yeah, everybody has a story about crossing the line, but for the most part, the intentions are good. It's well intended. It's to show appreciation, or it's out of excitement. It's not malicious or anything like that. So it's you know, it can be, all right, I need to take a step back, or I need to talk to someone about this person, but I'm never going to get upset about that because it's well intended, you know. And if someone's really excited, you know, if someone's crying when they meet someone, what are they going to say? Suck it up. What are you crying for? Like, you know what I mean? You just let that be. But there's a level of appropriateness that sometimes, and the excitement gets to people. You know, I can't imagine what I would do with, like,
Brad Pitt.
Jason Statham probably is more. I don't know what I would do. You know, you might have to pull me off him, and then that's what I'm talking about. I got overtaken. Excitement.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes, so if you guys are, can you get a quick question?
Okay. I know the anime industry has been getting bigger and bigger lately, and it's kind of been hard with piracy and everybody's other things.
It's lame.
Yeah,
Piracy
so
is
unfortunately.
lame.
But what is your total overview of piracy, and what do you think there's ways for like guys like us to tell everybody out there, hey, stop it, or what?
Well, you're
would you
killing the
suggest?
industry. It will be dead and gone if people keep doing it. That's the end of the story. Like, if people keep stealing, we won't have any product to sell, and then there will be no more product. That's an ABC. You know, that's what will happen. So every time you steal, you are killing the industry. So you can't complain about if anything goes down or if there's industry is dying if you're a cause of it. So respect the industry, support it, love it, be a fan, be a good fan, don't be a thief, and then we'll all get along.
Well, so the other part of the question, what would your suggestion be for like us to try to help and stop it? Well,
I mean, stay on top of it. Stay on top of it. Just consistently. Don't pirate, you know. I'm not exactly sure what you guys deal with from that fandom, I guess. But yeah, I would just communicate. You know, this is what's happening. And everybody knows it. So if they're turning a blind eye to it, slap them around. Tell them what's up. You guys have power. Use it. Good.
Thank you very much for doing the interview with us.
No problem.
This rather roundtable
This has
with
been
surprise
awesome.
guest.
This is fun.
So like we're here at Non-DesCon 2011. My name's Philip Wesley. I'm with Radio DMG. You're
Jared Sanchez with HiFiTech.net.
and Little Loco with ERJ Productions.
and we've been here with
Jamie Marchi.
and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for the interview.
Oh, no problem. Did anybody last questions? Did you?
Any last?
Oh, okay, I got a random one.
Okay.
All right.
How
all
would you
right.
feel about like strike rosters with the jet legs? Would you want a pair?
Of my own jet lags?
Yeah.
I would need lessons, but yeah, I would be up for that. Yeah, for sure.
Those would be the ultimate shoes.
They would be.
Yeah.
They would have to be platforms.
Well, they'll already design them for you.
Yes. Thank you guys. This has been really fun.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.